And I'm not going to go through my speech about why I don't like good morning. If you've listened to YouTube enough, you know why I don't like it. But but it does have to do with the military, and we want to thank our two military guys for their service, and they're in their uniform, which they would rather be in a suit. I can assure you of that. If they had their druthers, they would rather be in a suit. Because you couldn't run back to base fast enough to get your fucking uniform off if you had the opportunity, which the two kids can relate to. They both happen to be Air Force. Before we talk about the stuff that you looked at last night, and I made the preliminary announcement about Brian QLA Rose last night, and I'm sure I'll get some death threats because, contrary to what you think, not everybody loves Brian. I can see that. I know. But I know a lot more about Brian QLA Rose than most people, and so I can see why he gets death threats. But he will be inducted on graduation at the Hardcore Seminar in a couple weeks to the Hall of Fame. And he's actually there's two ways to get onto the Hall of Fame. You create a shit fucking ton of money, and then you can do good or bad with it. You can go out and be fucking Saddam Hussein. I don't give a fuck. Or you can make a shit ton of money and you can go out and save the world. And I'll get around to global warming, which is a farce, later. Or you can change a lot of lives without trying to do good or bad. We've got a few people on the Hall of Fame that have changed lives. For example, one of the Hall of Famers is the mentor of Dr. Phil. I'm their mentor, and they're Dr. Phil's mentor. For those of you that, you know, the Oprah Winfrey's alleged psychiatrist or shrink or whatever. And so Brian will be inducted to the Hall of Fame. And now Brian sent me a picture I showed last night, this big. Now, you don't see anybody else's picture that big up there, do you? Okay, that's what his ego's grown to. You know, but he'll have the same size picture as virtually everybody else, with one or two exceptions. And so we're looking forward to that. And he's coming up, and we're going to spend a couple of days together at the end of the Hardcore. I normally comment on the comments on YouTube that they've made, all the kids have made, and I look at them quickly, and I don't necessarily hardly ever answer them, but I do make comment when I come here and I start the day seminars. And that's where the death threats normally come. When people are anonymous, they have a lot of balls. I always thought that was humorous. When I first started a few years ago, I thought, how can people talk like that when I track them down and I cut their head off and shit down their neck? Then I realized it's literally impossible. Not impossible, because with enough money you can do anything. But it's almost impossible to find out when they're using the anonymous names and handles, etc. With the YouTube, they complain about, you drink too much water. Okay, on the YouTube they complain. Starting this afternoon, probably some of you will stand up, and you stand up because you're tired from jet lag, which jet lag is for cunts, but that's a whole other subject. And you stand up in the afternoons, and so sometimes half the room will be standing up. Okay, and so they've always got something smart-ass to say, and so from time to time I'll share that with you. One of the things that, probably none of you will do it, I tell you, a number of the people in the Hall of Fame all use standing desks. Standing. Does everybody understand what a standing desk is? You stand at the fucking desk off your big fucking lard ass, and you work. Now, I'm going to say it again slowly for the meatheads. A good number of the Hall of Famers use standing desks. They don't sit down all fucking day. And a few of the Hall of Famers have a treadmill underneath the standing desk and walk all fucking day. Now, success leaves clues, meatheads. Success leaves clues. But virtually nobody in this room will do that. Why do I know that? Because I've been doing this 23 fucking years. And not 15 or 20 people do it. They're all got billions, but I know you won't. I know you won't because you're really not serious. But you're more serious than the fucking meatheads on YouTube because you ponied up money. And in some cases, you think a lot of money. We're going to show you how it's no money, but in some cases, a lot of money. Some of you have borrowed. I hope not stolen. I hope not killed for. Leveraged. But you're not serious. Personal development, which I don't consider myself, personal development is vogue. But as Ted Nicholas, God rest his soul, who came to my first seminar here at the Castle in 1993, he said, Dan, it's $1 billion business. $1 going around to 1 billion fucking morons each. $1. Now, some people say, that's who I am. I'm a Neanderthal. And I am in a lot of ways. And you're going to see just how Neanderthal I am before the week's out. And a lot of people say that I'm old school. I take that as a compliment. We had one of you dream at the seminar that he was in one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Not that he was, but he dreamt of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. This is there so you can think of yourself as the 5th person of the apocalypse. And I assure you, if you only see 4 people up there, you're not going to make it. Go back, we fucked everything up. In theory, evolution, they should be walking the other way. You're not going to learn about evolution here. You're going to learn about revolution. And by revolution, I don't mean the kind of revolution where they cut the heads off of the king and queen of France during that revolution, the French Revolution. But we're seeing a new revolution. And the new revolution is with Donald. And in my humble opinion, I was one of the first to endorse him. We're not going to talk about him other than what I just said just now. But the people are fed up. Brexit showed the people are fed up. I hope to God you're fed up. Because if you are fed up, you will increase the probability of you being successful with what you're about to learn this week. Now, this is all, we don't look at the study. I'm just going to tell you what the headlines, and it's not just with mice and rats. The things that scared your parents, the things that scared your grandparents, transferred to your parents and then transferred to you. That's why you're a cunt. Because I will prove to you without a doubt that love does not get the fucking job done. As I said last night in my opening remarks, if love got the job done, you wouldn't fucking be here, Josh. Love's nice. I'm talking about love, parental love. Love's nice. It's great. But that dog don't fucking hunt. And if you want to hunt in the tall grass and pee in the tall grass and hunt with the big dogs, you got to learn that. I say throughout the seminar, sensitivity equals poverty. Sensitivity equals poverty. And we had some of the worst success test scores in the history of this seminar in this group. I'm going to say it again. We had some of the worst success score results of any group in 23 years that I've been using that test. Remember I said I'm going to bring a gun? Sally said last night when I was trying to go to sleep, and she came back up, and she says, I wouldn't do that because, how are we going to explain away somebody blows his brains out in the class here? Because I said, okay, I won't. She's probably understands human nature better than she's a psychologist, cordon bleu chef, chartered accountant, international tax expert, and she's a sea captain. She's sailed across the Atlantic. So I take her advice more than I would take just a regular person, notwithstanding I've been married to her a long time. Now, have you ever seen, unless they shit their pants or pee their pants, have you ever seen an unhappy baby? No. No. 3 years old, they're happy. Right? 7 years old, they're happy. 15 years old, they're not so happy. 20 years old, in 25 years, what happens, guys? And in this group, we have no girls. Your parents happen. Your parents. Self-esteem is built from 0 to 7 or 8. I say again, self-esteem is built from 0 to 7, 8. So you've been fucked up since you're 7 or 8. Well, you've been fucked up since the second trimester in your mommy's tummy. So just think for those, how many parents do we have in the room? God, I feel sorry for your kids. I can just imagine. If they're still less than 5 or 6, you got a chance. And I'm going to talk to you about, there's a book in the Why I Am the Way I Am, because my mother read a book in 1946. Now, I think that, or I know, that lack of self-esteem is a manifestation of lack of self-esteem. Oh, no. Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of self-esteem. Now, Mahatma Gandhi said it a little different. Happiness is when you think what you say and what you do are in harmony. You think one thing and say something else to be politically correct. One of the Hall of Famers up here said at my 70th birthday when he was up talking to the group, he says the difference between Dan and everybody else in this room is that Dan says what he thinks 100% of the time. You don't. I can go around the room, and I don't do this anymore because I don't want to embarrass you. I really don't give a fuck about embarrassing, but I don't do it because it takes too much time, because everybody's got a fucking story. When was the last time you actually said what you thought? So just let that resonate. When was the last fucking time you actually said what the fuck you really thought? Some of you, not in years. Some of you, never. The last time you said what you thought, your dad or your mom slapped you, kicked the shit out of you, and you never did it again. Everyone thinks of changing the world, but no one thinks of changing themselves. And we got some tree huggers in the room. I feel sorry for you. But I'm going to teach you how to create wealth and then go tree hug. Not tree hug and think that you're going to change anything. Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking they can't lose. Now, I'm going to show you things that Bill Gates said. I'm going to show you things that Einstein said. I'm going to show you things that Ellison said, Balmer said, that nobody else knows about, yet they're on the internet because you don't drill down far enough. You only drill down when you're looking for information till you validate your moronic idea. YouTubers, go fuck yourself. I'll see you later.